오! 왜? 헷갈렸습니다. 아침을 먹으러 가고 있습니다. 호텔 조식보다는 여기 노포 백반집들이 괜찮아서. 말레이시아 백반. 저희가 무단횡단을 하는 게 아니라 안 바뀝니다.
비록 안 바뀌어. 그 예의상이라서 상체만 띄줘야 돼.
속도는 똑같은데.
상체만.
아, 정모가 무단횡단 하지만 양심을 조금 지키고 있구나.
뭔가 냄새가 난다.
네.
오,
여기 같은데요?
오,
네.
멋지네.
우와.
드링?
아, what 메뉴? 뭔 메뉴? 메뉴는 뭔 메뉴라고 한 것 같은데? 오늘 일부 가방에 놔두고 와가지고 이걸로 해결을 해야 되는데 적절히 대기를 했구나.
This rice egg maslama. Roti canai, egg roti sardine. How much? Two ringgit.
걱정할 게 없습니다. 배 터지게 먹어도 돼.
Yeah, boil. Yeah, boil. How much? 150.
150 투링기. 이게 진짜 리얼 현지인데.
봉지. 봉지 왔다, 봉지. 땡큐.
Correct, creamy. Very nice.
내게 더 줬어. 자, 준비됐습니다. 쫄로 가갑니다, 씨.
올라갔다 왔습니다.
대박. 미친 거 아니야? 대박, 장난 쳐. 안녕하세요. 한국에서 온 정훈입니다. 여기에 얼마나 자주 오십니까?
Well, the last time I was here was December. So, well, he wanted to meet up. So I thought, I wanted to go to that store. So it's a convenient place, and it used to be open near where I live. Then now they moved here, so yeah, I miss the taste. So yeah.
언제 그럼 처음 오셨죠, 이 공간에?
About a couple of years ago, before COVID, I think. Yeah.
혹시 어떻게 이 공간을 알게 되셨는지?
It's quite famous, so actually, yeah, like he say, right, the one that was close to where he used to stay, that was the first branch, and I think after that they moved here.
그러면 어떤 브랜드인지 소개 좀 가능할까요?
Well, actually, I know him personally, and that's his name. Actually, Tommy Lee is his name. Yeah, I think he learned. I chatted with him. He learned his baking skills in Paris, and when I knew him, I went to his apartment, and he had like a full kitchen with all the utensils, and it's very interesting. I've tried a lot of my family likes it because we're into sourdough.
혹시 두 분 이제 어떤 일을 하시는지?
I'm a pharmacist here.
어,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm an English teacher.
영어 선생님.
Yes.
진짜 재밌다. 지금 평일이잖아요.
Because today is a weekday, right? So usually weekday, yeah, you guys come. So we wonder what
We
kind of
don't
like.
have very normal working hours. Not the yeah.
네, 근데 조금 자유롭게 시간 쓸 수 있는 직업을 가지고 있어서 네, 이제 편하게 왔다고 합니다.
And I teach online, so it's okay. I can always work anywhere.
여기 이 공간 오면 뭐 좀 어떤 느낌이 드는지 오는 이유가 있는지.
I think it's well, I like it. It's quite cozy. It's small and it's never very crowded. And obviously, I know the owner. And then when I come here, so I feel it's not pretentious. So some places that you go that could be a bit pretentious. Everybody is real and friendly. So that's why.
이런 바이브가 있는 공간이 말레이시아에 또 있는지.
There's a lot of cafes springing up at the moment. Yeah, it's everywhere. I kind of like this whole place as well. It's got a very nice ambience, like quite artsy too. I think like they're promoting some of the art events here as well. Yeah.
The fact that you had signs like no Wi-Fi here, no landline, and then if you play the piano, and then there's a sign saying that only if you play the piano, please enjoy. I think they're very real, they're very down to earth. I think recently because of after COVID, right? So many people want to go out and cafes and a good place to gather together. And then a lot of owners want to have a comfortable environment and friendly environment for. So there are actually a lot. Actually, every week you can see. I have a friend who does that as well. Every week he goes to different. Every week there are new cafes and restaurants.
저 시간 뺏어서 너무 죄송하고 또 너무 고맙고.
One upstairs.
Yes,
Another cafe is actually working out now. There's another cafe, small cafe called QQQ. There's another one here. Oh, well, I can still slowly future.
혹시 가게에 대한 간단한 소개나 좀 얘기를 좀 들을 수 있는지.
So basically like we get to do your components. So our shop called Anatomy. So basically like a component for the books. So you get to choose the cover, inserts and
여기 오픈은 언제 했죠?
opened this in 2019, but we initially 2016 we used to base in PJ. So it's been 6 years of our brand.
혹시 이쪽으로 온 이유가 있을까요?
Because this place is like has like those creative people art space, so it's like very congested here. So it's like we have more
당시
people
때 이
to
건물이 이렇게
보니까 어떻습니까? 전에보다 나아요?
yes, because we can see more people know about this brand, and then a lot of people get to explore new places here
네.
also.
모여 있으니까 이 크리에이티브한 사람들과 좀 작업하는 사람과 자주 만날 수 있겠네요.
We kind of close because every event that we have, so we get basically know all the people here
네,
already.
서로 친한가요?
서로 친한지.
Yeah, we all friendly here. Yeah, the time to like every time we close the shop, maybe we'll gather at the bakery there.
원래 이렇게 그래 모여 있으면 마주칠 기회가 많아져가지고 한국에도 이런 시도를 많이 하고 있거든요.
Yeah, that's really good because like I feel like it's easier because like we get to see a lot more creative people because creative people are very tend to like isolate themselves. They don't explore with other people. So the Zongshan building, we get to know about people and then what's their background, what they like, and then stuff that they do here we appreciate more.
Like Lego block.
Yes.
yes,
that's correct.
예. 그 여기도 실례 나이가 어떻게 되는지 왜 이유가 있거든요. 예.
I'm 27.
좋았으면.
예.
아, 그 이유가 한국에도 이 세대부터 좀 새로운 걸 많이 찾고 있어서 여쭤봤다고. Thank you. Thank you very much.
그래도 많이 비싸긴 하죠.
촬영 다이어리를 내가 하나 하고 싶은데 사람에서 뭐가 이걸 좀 어떻게 하면 될지 그리드. 노트.
이거를 몇 장씩 하실지 지금 이게 너무 얇잖아요.
아, 예.
일단은 섞으셔도 되시고
이게 오케이.
So you take this one because this one thick already, so we can fit everything already inside.
네, 이렇게 되면 이제 사이즈가 두꺼우니까 6개가 맞춰집니다. So then what is
Then
next?
the next one is to choose your accessories. So be careful of the wire color to bind the inserts.
아 바인드.
Bind the inserts, you can choose the color. This one, this looks nice, the blue color because it matches. And then this one you can choose any color. This one also looks nice also.
확 깨는 걸로.
Okay. And then the last is the nail color.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have gold,
Nail
rose
color.
gold,
Oh.
and silver. And the pipe we already have gold color.
아.
Okay, when you're done, you can come to the counter with your friend. Okay. One seven.
Okay.
Okay. And you go, sir. Then you
Yeah,
have to
thank
do
you.
about like 20 minutes only.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because the one left a bit only. Yeah. Just a
Oh, thank you. 알코올?
플러스 is alcohol.
알코올.
퓨퓨퓨.
뭐 마실 거예요?
There's another cafe, a small cafe called Pew Pew Pew. Espresso tonic. Yeah. 잠깐만 들고 있어줄래요? 제가 캐시를 줄 꺼내겠습니다. 멋있게 찍어주세요.
Oh yes, very good. Do you want me to introduce your cafe to the Korea? How long you was in here?
6 years?
You are the barista.
Yeah, but it's also like feel like home, so it's okay for me to come like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like just workplace. It's more like home. You see friends when you come here.
원래 이렇게 작은 곳을 좋아하시는지.
Small is more intimate, closer to your friends and customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe from customers you can also become friends.
Yeah.
I think it's also good space, good size.
Yeah. That's very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
You usually come to place
Here?
Almost like one a few times.
What do you do? What's your job?
Actually, I'm helping one of the tenants here to make some leather.
Oh, leather. So you like this place?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
I mean, like here, he make a very good coffee, and I like the small place like this. And then like when the customer comes in, the customer can become a friend also.
맞네. 아, 여기 어디 밑에 집에서 파는 기다.
아, 요 밑에요?
1층에. 어.
그게 언플러그에도 이제 입점이 되어 있는
레벨이.
거예요.
업사이클도. 근데 1층에는 완전 이 브랜드 샵이 됐다.
okay.